Appreciate you hitting the button. Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. This is episode 92. You follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Hype. That's HYMPE. It's Hype. It's not hype. I'm not geeked up. Special guests in the building. My folks, they back, y'all. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Sai.
Well, I guess it's ladies first. It is your girl, Sai, aka Sunny Brick, co-host of Sipping with Sammy podcast, editor and publisher of On the Scene magazine, owner of On the Scene Notary. You know, got all the scenes. We on your scene. We ready.
And I am Sipping with Sammy, Sam Malone, Barstool Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammy, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together. It'll be 2023 already and you wouldn't have had a shot yet.
Copy that. Let's hit the rundown now. It is at Custom Hustle World on Instagram, Custom Hustle World, Custom Hustle Co. on Twitter, custom jerseys, jackets, t-shirts, and sweatsuits. We can customize and get your logo on whatever you need, but it will cost you extra. The jackets are one of one unless you buy 3 or 4. The jerseys are also the same thing unless you buy a couple of them. You pick the names, numbers, colors, and all of that. Football, basketball, baseball, and hockey all are available, kid sizes and everything also. H2H Cleaning at H2H Cleaning is my cleaning company that is an Instagram only situation, a tri-state area situation. But if you make it worth my while, I will slide. We do roofing, plumbing, HVAC, cleanups, cleanouts, all of that good stuff. Carpet and flooring, you name it, we can make it happen. That's it, the rundown.
And support all of that, please. Anybody support all of that. And remind me, I might got a roofing joint for you.
Copy that. Appreciate the love. E-Block Radio Network every Monday, 2:00 on the E-Block Radio Network. GFT Radio, 2:00 every Tuesday. Wednesday is 216 The Blend at 12 midnight, 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Thursday, WTNUphilly.com. I Say Podcast Radio Network every Friday, 10 a.m. and THC Media every Saturday at 10 a.m. Sunday, still wide open, looking to make something happen, y'all. All right, episode 92. Got my folks in the building. These is family right here.
Yeah.
So, get comfortable, baby. Why do people always say they working on their self after the relationship? Why can't you work on yourself while you're in the relationship? Talk to me, Sai.
So I think it's kind of multifaceted, right? I think that when you get into a relationship, initially, you focus a lot of attention on the other person. So it's subconscious. You don't understand it. For me, I'm a caring person, I'm a giver. So whenever I encounter or begin a relationship, I'm more focused on them than me unintentionally. It's not intentional at all. It's unfortunate that people take the opportunity after relationship, because I think it would behoove or be in everybody's best interest if they did it during the relationship. But once a relationship ends, you have the opportunity to kind of reflect. And that's when you think about you, because you no longer have, somebody else to kind of put in the forefront. For me, that's the beginning of it. It's a lot more. I got a lot more to unpack too, but that's the first part.
We gonna get you there. Come on, Sam. Let's go.
I think the idea of deal breakers works both ways. I think that sometimes, how people be like, I could do anything but this. And then that gets crossed is usually what ends the situation, right? A lot of people think that they'll take that for granted until that's a real thing. And then it's no longer about my feelings about what you said. Now I really have to, like Saab said, dig into what part I played or didn't play in a situation. So I think that once that deal is broken, sometimes you start trying to restructure your paperwork.
Okay. See, I would say here is like Sai said, it's better to do this thing inside the relationship. That way we can grow it and prosper and make it move forward. In any relationship, which every relationship takes communication. 2 3-year-olds playing is communication on this one is mine and this one is yours. Don't put this in your mouth. Don't put that in your mouth.
Before kids could talk, they communicated.
Copy. So it's always about making them strong self-evaluations. If you can't look in the mirror and make the strong right evaluation about yourself, if I look in the mirror and tell you, yo, I'm a 6 foot, 170 pound nigga, it's a lie. It's not the truth. That's not what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't be real with yourself, then how you gonna be real with me in this relationship? Most people don't want to be accountable for how this shit fucked up and, how is that we can make this thing work? Because like Sai said, when you started off, the relationship is kind of always about the other person, because it's like, how do we fit together? How do I fit myself into this situation with them to see if we got to fit or if we don't got to fit? And people do all of those things after the relationship where they say, well, how can I get better? What do I need to change? Do I need to change anything? Am I just great? Is everything your fault? Is nothing my fault? When anything breaks down, it's never always on one side. It's always on both of us. We
Well,
don't all
one
look
thing,
at it like that. You know what I'm saying?
You
Go
one
ahead.
definitely
thing,
took.
what you was about to say, Saf, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because I had my little notes that I started writing, and you see right there, accountability was the first thing that I wrote. And it's so
Mhm.
interesting that you said that, because I think that that's most important. And I think that is what most people are lacking, because, and I don't want to see most people, but a lot of people lack accountability. It's so easy to point the finger at other people, right? But I
It's
feel
hard
like
to
for a
look in the
lot of
mirror.
people, it's more challenging to realize that when you point that one finger, all those fingers are pointing back to you. You got to think about the role that you played and the part that you played, right? And I don't
Exactly.
think that a lot of people are, it's just not easy to do, regardless if it's a lot of people or not. It's just not an easy task. It's just not an easy task.
I think
So I
that
think that plays the biggest role. Go ahead, bro.
I think sometimes we rely on catchphrases as crutches as a community. And it's certain things that happen where people will say stuff like, and we talk about accountability all the time on the podcast. Tap into Simple with Sammy. We love accountability conversations when it's me and Sam. But
This is why I love my
one
man. You know
thing
what I'm saying? I didn't even had to tell him to throw the plug in there. You know what I'm saying? It's paid talent like my man Sam. He's already locked, loaded, and ready with it.
always, but one thing that people love to do because it's common to do is say, well, y'all know how I am. Y'all know, you know who I am. You know that I'm like this. And they're identifying a bad trait that they're not willing to work on.
Copy.
You see what I'm saying? So just because I love you doesn't mean that that's something that I want to deal with the rest of my life if it's something that's fixable.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't
But a
have to,
lot of
neither
people
one
just
of us should have
rely
to accept
on,
the
well, you
shortcoming
met me
because you don't
how
want
I
to grow.
am. Well, damn, I thought we was growing.
Right.
Bullseye. We're not all growing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you say that, when you say, well, you know how I am, then what you're saying is I'm supposed to accept that you have a shortcoming that you're never going to work on. You don't ever
That
plan
you
on
already know you have.
evolving.
You identified it.
Copy.
You pinpointed
Yeah.
it and told me just be cool with it.
Yeah. You've been fucking up the rent money for the last 3 years, so I'm supposed to just be cool with you always fucking up the money. So what happens when we got the mortgage money now? Am I supposed to be just cool with you fucking up the bread? Because that's
Am
just
I
Right.
what you
supposed to
do?
want to get a house with you?
Right. Copy.
Right. I was about to say too, another thing, the second note that I have so far was, and it's related, little sidetrack, but multitasking, right? So people think that multitasking is like, it's kind of ideal. And when you think about it, you might be getting something done, but how effective or efficiently are you getting those things done, right? So if you're in a relationship and you're focusing most of the attention on your partner, which is not a good or a bad thing, it just is what it is. How
Everything's
much
balance.
opportunity, how much, huh?
I said everything's about balance. Yeah.
Right. How much opportunity exactly? You have to find that balance. And that's the other thing I was going to say. That's all about balancing, like how you have to find opportunity to focus on whatever your interests are, your partner, yourself, whatever it be. You know what I mean? So I think that's another facet of it too.
See, something that my man Nah, shout out to my man Nah, was on last week episode from Life Be Life and podcast. He
Salute.
said, he was talking about something on his podcast, and he was saying, do you have a lot going on, or it's the difference in having a lot going on or you just doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to all of the shit that I got going on, like all of us, we got a long rundown if we want to go through these rundowns. You know what I'm saying? We busy and niggas is doing shit. But are you really doing shit, or are you just, you know what I'm saying, getting yourself caught up with shit to do when you ain't getting nothing accomplished?
But
Same thing like you
that's the
go ahead.
other side of accountability when it comes to people that's doing shit is being intentional. Why are you doing shit?
Mm-hmm.
Is
What's
it
the
a means
purpose?
to it? Is it a means to an end? Does it create a funnel?
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
see
where
what
I
I'm
was
saying?
going.
Does it have a
Yeah, because
purpose? You know what I mean? For me, everything I do is purposeful. Even when I go out, like I used to be on the scene literally from Sunday to Sunday, right? But now I party with a purpose and whatever that may be and whatever right that may be. You know what I'm saying? So just everything that you do has to be with intention and purpose, regardless of what it is. You know what I mean? I think
yep.
that's important.
Because like
But
it's
that's a
like she said,
conversation
like
that we've been having.
being on the scene could be anything. You know what I mean? But she gives direction to what she means by on the scene. There's a lot of people that you can see you follow them online and you'll be like, oh, they be in the mix. Yeah, but they, you know what I
Right.
Like,
mean?
What they
give you a prime
mixing?
example. Give you a prime
They
example.
there.
So, me, Thousand Hustles. We at one gig doing the Roots picnic. and I'm at the door. You got to come through. This is the door you got to come through to get your credentials,
Right.
which means I'm gonna see everybody.
Which means
That's
you
how
should
the
have told me to pull up. Never mind.
No, I heard you say that on the John that you were supposed to go because the podcast brothers with your folks and all that, but you didn't come. I'm saying I'd be tapped in.
I know
I
that's
was
right,
right
bro.
there.
Say that, bro.
Yo, he got me right.
But the
Say
joints,
that, bro.
the wristbands used to be the gray and black joints. I ran out of all of them because I worked the Roots picnic, and everybody who came through that joint, I'm on you.
As you
That's
should.
how we. That's how we
As
got the
you
green and
should.
white. My man is right here with me. He spit. He don't talk to one person. I'm on any and everybody top coming through this door. The young boy who's my man right there. Look at him. He's locked in. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't play about you, bro.
Copy that. My man who's doing security over here, the young boy is like 19. Young boy do beats. Young boy is on it. Young boy, yo, look, you remember the DM from last week? That was me. Oh shit, that was your beat and all of that. But my other man, like I said, he's spit and he's letting all these opportunities just go right by him. He's not saying nothing to nobody. He's not capitalizing on this situation. He's not looking at this shit like this is a live situation of I need to work on this shit. Because if you see, it's 3 of us over here and we all got different shit going on. Why are you the only one that's not saying nothing? Why are you the
Now,
one
what
that's
I would do,
jumping all
now,
over that?
you're right. But with the second part of that is there's always a possibility that he was standing there saying, damn, I'm not prepared. Next time, I'm going to come with this. It's like
See?
people first time going to South by Southwest. When they see people walking down the street with 30 people with their shirts and their banners, they like, oh, we ain't come heavy enough. And then they go back right the next year. You know what I mean?
Copy. Now,
Not saying
I
he
can,
shouldn't have took more advantage, but sometimes, people are more cerebral than others.
but see, that's why the conversation we just had before the show is, look, bro, I know you got the experience doing what this other situation is. So let me reach out and tap into you and say, what don't I know that I'm not asking? What am I not finding out? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Know enough
Absolutely.
to know that you need to be prepared for whatever situation
That
that
part.
you walk into. Same
That
way,
part.
like you just threw it in there about, yo, we talked about this on the Sipping with Sammy podcast. You go straight into your situation because you
Mm-hmm.
come prepared. You know what I'm saying? And you know me, if it's any situation, like I always tell people, this is any of these situations is like cracking on chicks. Anytime I was at the bar and you might go 0 for 5, 0 for 6 tonight, it's not gonna stop me from going at number 7. Because what's she
Right.
gonna say? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
You
I
gotta
worked in retail
always,
before. We got to greet everybody.
hey man, listen.
And that was
I
for
was
somebody else's money. So
That's what I'm saying. That's why we, you know what I'm saying, custom hustling our own whole situations these days.
exactly.
Absolutely. That part.
Shout out the on the scene notary, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shout
Oh,
out definitely on the scene notary, man. You already know it's important. Like you said, follow your own lane, follow your own thing. I was in a couple situations with I needed some documentation, or people needed documentation, or people actually losing houses because they documentation not right. And I found it was real necessary to start on the scene notary. So we help people with wills, deed transformations. I mean, I just my divorce decree, whatever you need, they need
Life
documentation.
changing situations need you.
I was about
Absolutely.
to say, you're glossing over these like they're not major
No, this
situations,
is the
bro. Yeah.
no, these are pivotal points in people's lives.
Yeah.
Right.
How many
That's
people
heavy.
how many people with an active will? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
fight
The
as a
living
culture.
will
We
versus
fight against wills.
Which is
We
stupid.
have young men that are rich and know that they're volatile and say, "Well, I make enough money where it's not a thing. I don't want to think about it."
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah,
If that
That's
girl ain't
real.
your wife, if that girl ain't your wife, she won't be having access to nothing. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
if you don't make it to 35 to realize that Christian Rock wasn't really your type, then what are we talking about?
That's what I'm saying, man. That's why, you know what I'm saying, anything happens, she can get access to it all.
It
I
get
know
vicious,
that's right.
man. It get vicious. So salute the side for that, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
Always, you know me.
So tell me this now. Was there ever a relationship where you stepped back and said, this Jeezy joint, therapy for my soul. I didn't even know this shit had came out. I heard this shit the first time. It was like, this is one of the best joints I ever heard. Cause like, god damn, he murdered this joint. And he said on the joint, I would say it's all him, but it wouldn't be fair. Have
Mm-hmm.
you ever been in a situation where it was like, damn, now that I did step back and have reevaluated, it wasn't all on one person, and maybe it was on me, and maybe I could have played that different because it'll help me out in this next situation?
I've never been in a situation where I've completely thought it was the other person's fault when it didn't work out, honestly. But one thing that has always been my comfort thing is that I'm always the one that's trying to communicate. So I'm reactive. I'm a Gemini. I can go either way. So if I start doing things as a result of, then I don't necessarily feel it's bad, but I know that that contributed to the demise too at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That doesn't sound self-serving enough. And like, I'm trying to be honest.
Yeah.
Nah, you good.
Yeah. For me, it's been more of personal relationships and not physical relationship, not physical like with others, you know, with a mate type of thing. It's more of a type of friendship relationship that I have to be more accountable for.
This conversation that we having is a general conversation, not just
right. No, I just want to distinct it
just,
because actually, like what Sam said, like so with any like personal relationship or like a relationship, I don't think that I've ever, and I'm always accountable. That's the first thing I always think about is what role did you play? My mom taught me that when I used to always get in trouble. The first thing she said was, what role did you play? You know what I mean? So that's something I always think about. It's at the forefront for every situation, for everything that I do. So in all of my relationships, you know, I really think that I don't think that I've ever really thought of what I could have done differently. But in some of my friendships or other relationships that were not built on personal shit, you know, I think that there was ways that I could have been a little bit more. There was things I could have done differently because a long time, you know, it was just, I would just think that things is not going on my track, not my way, but on my track, that it is what it is. You know what I mean? Not being empathetic or sympathetic to other things, to other people. Like before I had kids, I didn't understand when somebody said, I can't come because I have kids, I don't have a babysitter. I didn't understand it. I used to be like, oh, all right, she can't come. Sorry for you. Now, I understand. It's completely different.
We wasn't even like that, and I can speak for Hank.
No, I was like that but you gotta understand. I just said I was on the scene. I was on all kinds of scenes, so it didn't matter what it was. I can't sit here and not go or sit about what you're doing. I can't. That's not my life. I can't do that. But now, like I said, it's about the empathy of it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now,
that's
when
what
you're
I'm
in that
about to say.
place,
It's about being
like before you lose somebody close to you, you don't understand what somebody's going to until you have that loss. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't understand a breakup till you have a breakup. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was one of the biggest things for me because I experienced loss early and all the breakups early, but I didn't have kids early. So I didn't understand that until, you know, later.
So, but while we're talking about, hold on real quick, while we're talking about relationships ending and who's at fault, we also have to realize when we start talking more about mental health, that some relationships are supposed to end or have pauses. And
Absolutely.
It's okay. And it's fine.
Relationships have an expiration date. That was an episode.
We gotta be more realistic about that. We can't act like just because it's over that it's over forever, and we can't act like just because it's a thing that it's a thing forever. We have to give each other grace in that way.
For sure.
I think that's all about the growth of the situation. Just because we worked at 22 don't mean we work at 32. Something that you was just touching on now, Si. Boar oldest daughter, my niece.
Shout out to Boy, my guy.
Yeah,
changed my whole perspective with kids because Nah was the first kid I'm the youngest. So she's the first.
I know how it is when we get our first little girl and it ain't your girl, but it's our first. I know how it is.
But she's the first that I get all of the experiences with. So before I have kids, like she's saying, like, what you mean you ain't got no babysitter? Oh, now I get why you ain't got no babysitter. You know what I'm saying? All of that clicks for me with having a niece before I even have kids. So that once I get to having kids, I understand a whole lot of this better. But that, like you said, it's experiences. But out these experiences, you don't have anything to compare it to.
It's different too for me.
Had homies that had a lot of baby moms, so it was just like.
But she was in the house though. You know what I'm saying? And like she in my room taking a shit, and I'm like, yo, what's that smell? Right. I'm not about to change her.
Right. And even for that, it's also about support systems too, right? Because I was an aunt when I was 10. My sister had kids when I was young, but she had a support system. My mom, my cousins, my aunts, my this, my that. And when you don't have that, it's different. You absolutely look at it differently. You know what I mean? Like single moms, and I'm not even a single mom. I'm married, but my husband works different. It's just different for me. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. Shout out to parents, you know, mothers, fathers, whoever, aunts, uncles, godparents. Shout out to them all because it takes the village. Exactly. It takes the village. It takes a village. Absolutely.
Now, this where I asked y'all this because this was something that I'm gonna be like, we're gonna be honest here. You know, we in a safe space here. The way that I started looking at things different was getting married, and in different discussions and things with my wife, it would always be like, all right, well, it can't always be her fault. So try to see it from her perspective. But I would only do that in a relationship with my wife, is try to figure it out from both sides. In a relationship with anybody else, I wasn't trying to figure it out from both sides. The thing about me is I'm an extremist. I'm gonna go 1,000 miles an hour. If we doing whatever, we doing it. We can't half do it. You know what I'm saying? We can't just kind of be doing it. We doing it. That's why I never trapped. Because I was going to jail too fast.
You was on the express train to the prison.
Couldn't do a Bali. I need 4 ounces. So I know that about me, and now you start to reevaluate the situations. That's why I brought up the Jeezy statement. Like, I would say it's all them, but it wouldn't be fair. Because now you start to look at it and it's like somebody might not be giving you what you want in this situation, but how are you delivering that message to them? How are you communicating that? Are you being like Sam, just like we talked about, this is how they are and this is what they are, and they're not looking to change that? It's like, are you saying, all right, well, I'm gonna either accept that or I'm gonna say that ain't cool? But it took me years to implement that into my own game. Cause like I was look, I know I'm going 100 miles an hour and I'm giving it my all. Like Sam said, yeah, I'm the nigga that's sending out the phone call, the text. I might hit y'all sometime, yo, checking in. You good? Ain't heard from you in a minute. I don't even want nothing out of you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just about, yo, is y'all cool? Is everything good over there? Is the kids good?
But
You know what I'm saying?
your wife becomes your
Everybody don't move
navigation
like that.
system, though. Just because you moving 100 miles and you go 100 at everything, you found somebody to compliment to help you direct that energy. So then you can put your guard down because you found somebody that matches. Like, I'm not married, but I know even when I was running around crazy with a bunch of women, only my girlfriend deserved the argument. I'm not arguing with none of the rest of you. My girlfriend, we can go back and forth. I care how she feels. So you got to the person whose feelings you care about.
See, look, this is the behind the scenes peek, and I never really do this. I tell her all the time, you don't know how much weight you bear my wife holds. That if you say stop, I'm gonna stop to listen to why you're telling me this.
Yep.
Anybody else could say this and it'd be like, the fuck is you talking about? But if you say, I need to talk to you, everything gets dropped because this is you. You know what I'm saying? It'll be on the same tip where it's like, just from my perspective, the way she look at it is like, he don't stop when nobody else telling him to stop. So why the fuck is he gonna stop when I tell him to stop? But I always tell her, you my wife. If you need whatever, it's whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I made a conscious decision to put you in a position of prominence for a reason.
Copy. Right. I didn't, you know what I'm saying, just pick anybody to be my wife. I didn't choose anybody to get. I didn't choose just anybody to give my dad's name. You know what I'm saying?
That part, bro, that name is big for me, yo. My name means something in West Philly. I don't know about the rest of you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I act different about that name thing, man.
That's what I'm saying. We gonna get there. That's something new in the podcast. We gonna get there. I got y'all.
Yes.
But like, yeah, like, man, that shit.
Look, you see, like, that name means so much. My joint on here. Let me change that joint. Hold on. My name ring out. Wait a minute now.
There's a good reason I run by. It's a reason I got so many aliases.
Right?
That government different.
All right, now this is what I need from y'all. Sam, what's the wildest shit Sai ever said on the podcast?
I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago.
I was about to say, wasn't it the last pod?
There we go.
What did you say, yo? What was this clip? Because I clipped it.
It was crazy. We was like, shout out to Stormy P. We was on with
Stormy you got P. A high-speed chase with your pop. She got a high-speed chase with her dad in her first car with her little boyfriend. So in order to deflect her dad, she went to the library and got a bunch of books.
Like, he didn't just chase me. Like, he don't
like
know.
He didn't just see you.
I would no, but
my
we really almost died.
You don't get it, was his like, son, he'd have caved your chest in for that.
Yo, but you don't get it. Like, we really almost, like, I've been in real chases before too with them other people. Like, it was like that. Like, yo, you don't understand. I'm like, now I'm like, I was a real dickhead for that. Like
he saw you, he knows your car.
it wasn't my car, it was Bull car, but he knew Bull car.
He know you.
And I was outside of my house. Like
You damn sure better know ball. You damn sure better know ball car if you're gonna be messing with my daughter. I damn sure
That
know what that.
part.
but
I
I
damn
wasn't
sure know
that's
what
the
that
thing.
Nissan look
My
like.
dad Muslim started out with the FOY, fruit of Islam. You ain't no bull. Like that was the
Yeah,
thing.
that's my dad. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I came back with the books this big. Like, not me,
And
Dad, not
mind you,
me.
that might
Man, I
not be
was
the craziest
studying. I
thing
got some
she said,
chemistry
but
homework.
that's most recent. Because Sav give it up, but that's the most recent joint that I could think of. That was hilarious. That and the mermaid drowning was crazy.
Now, reverse the question. Sai, what's the craziest shit? What's the wildest shit Salmon said?
I think every episode with Sam is wild, to be honest, but he's like,
I
for
know what
real,
I'm
he don't
doing.
have no filter. That's the thing, because I think that's why we work so well together, because he really don't have a filter. What's the wildest shit you said? Like, yo,
And
I
it's
think
crazy because I'm super comfortable with Sav. So I'll talk to Sav like, you know how Shay said, you nigga talk to me like I'm a whole nigga. Like, yeah, like we ain't got a trip.
that's how it be. That's how it be. So,
That's the
bro, what you
comfortable
think the
situation. That's
craziest
them
thing you
comfortable
said?
situations. That's what you look for. You know what I'm saying? When you feel like you ain't gotta be guarded and like measured in what you're saying, that's what you
Yeah, like
looking
it's
for.
not even tactical. Like it's like we got our plan, but we just go for us because we feel it's that comfortability. You know what I mean? That awareness, that familiarity with it. So we just go for us all time.
But I say a lot of crazy shit, man.
Everything you say is crazy. What you mean?
What?
What do you
Tell me
mean?
this now. What made y'all start doing sipping with Sammy?
Go ahead, bro.
Sitting with Sammy was a idea that I had when I had an opportunity to an internet radio station back in the day, a while back, told me I could have a radio show and I could do it remotely. And I was like, well, that's perfect because I was running around too much, doing too much to be somewhere every whatever day at a certain time. You know what I
Every
mean?
Tuesday at 6.
Yeah. But when they told me remotely, I was like, so that means that I could go to your bar or your man cave or your playground and drink with you and have it on the air. So that's where the premise of it came from. It took a few years for me to link up with Kay. Shout out to Kay from Font Productions, and really get into media altogether before that, to where it became a real thing. And as soon as it became a thing, I'm like, well, I need a co-pilot for like, you know, a majority of this stuff. Like it's certain things that you need somebody you could trust that's on board with you. I don't need it for everything. And the first person I thought of was Sai, like literally the first person. But what I did was I swindled her. I told her I needed her to come on and just, you know, shoot an episode with me. And I knew she was gonna love it. So before I could tell her that it was her show, she hit me up and was like, bro, that was so fun. We should do that again. I was like, nigga, it's half yours. What you want to do?
So, all right, now we spin this to you. Sai, what made you gravitate towards it?
So I guess finishing or completing where he started. When we did it, so I've grown up in media. My dad has a newspaper. His dad had a newspaper. His dad. I'm like a fourth generation editor directly. I don't know if I had to think about it. I should know that, but I'm a fourth generation editor and publisher. And even beyond that, now I say it all the time. That's why I was like, it's this damn Casamigos right here. That's
why I said it's the
That's what
cup.
he said.
But and beyond that, even beyond that, from the days of slavery, I'm a direct descendant of an editor and publisher that was dedicated to the abolishment of slavery and had his publication, The Liberator, William Lloyd Garrison, from 1829 to 1865. So media, and saying all that is to say media is in my blood, it's in my spirit, it's in my passion, it's my purpose. And when bro called me the one time, the first time he called me, it was just, I thought I was sitting down with him. I have On the Scene magazine, so we discussed that, but we family that it just felt so comfortable. I called him, like he said, he was like, oh, it's yours, what's up? And we just went from there. And because I really have a deep passion and purpose for it, I didn't think of anything else to say but yes. There was no thought about it. I didn't even have to think. There was no thought about it. I love what we do. I love his platform, or our platform, that is, it's very laid back and it's free. It's a conversational aspect. Our guests always tell us, I mean, literally, I'm gonna say 80 to 90% of the times, I think the other 10 to 20 is just they don't have the opportunity or don't say it, but they tell us that we had the most comfortable platform. They was like, yo, this has been like, and we got some big people. I mean, we have Grammy nominated, Grammy Award winners on our platform. You know, we have some really big
Talk
people.
that shit.
And they really talk about us and tell us, you know, how comfortable we make them. And you know, like I said, is we play off each other. We alike but opposite in so many different ways that, you know, I think that we bring what's needed to the podcast.
All right.
She
now,
said that better than I could have. No bullshit.
yes,
Thank you. All the Grammy shit, I'd have skipped over all of that. You ordered. You ordered. I love you.
See, that's the weed and the cup hitting you together.
No, like, bro, literally, I do. We run around.
He never
so
talks
much.
about that kind of stuff, though.
Yeah,
You
like
know.
that's not what be sticking out to me. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to think about it too, though. Even though it don't stick out, you got to think these people been on. The reason I said it is that a Grammy Award winner, a nominated person, has to think about the platforms that they've been on, not in substance or content, but even just in volume, right?
No, we talking about people that have been on Hot 97, been on
correct.
105, been on Power
Breakfast
99,
Club, all that. They done been on all that.
shit.
You know,
Yeah,
and for them to tell us how comfortable we make them feel, to me, that's a nod. That's a nod I take.
No, and this is one of them things that I will always say. This was another joint, Yo Gotti joint. Can I speak out loud? Can I tell myself I'm proud?
Yeah.
Shit, not bragging. If you out here, y'all two are people. Y'all know that I fuck with both of y'all since the first time we met. And
that's cool. Love you to death.
People who out here who bust their ass to make shit happen, don't never let nobody like, I don't really want to be saying it like that. I don't want it to sound like that. Man, fuck that. It sound like that. It is that, because I'm busting my ass to make shit happen. Like, ain't nobody handing me this shit. That's why I tell motherfuckers, if you,
so sometimes I forget the accomplishment.
If you fucking Google me, they got pictures of me up there.
Right.
That part.
Any and everybody can't say that shit. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
And I work hard to make that shit happen.
Right.
Sipping with Sammy podcast got 180 something episodes, about 5 concert series and some more shit under and still going, and we ain't missed a week yet. Like,
that's what
I
I'm
understand
saying. Talk
all
that
that
shit, bro.
But I be forgetting.
You know, on the same magazine got that popping SEO popping. Every time anybody in that magazine, you put their name in, that's the first thing that come out.
Oh no, we
coming
right to you. We coming right to you. We coming right to you next. We coming
Let's
right
go.
to you. I got you.
You already know. I was already thinking we got that. We got that.
No, but we but all of this is just like, we fight to do things the right way.
Correct.
So certain things come with that. Like it's so many. We've won a few awards, and it's plenty of awards that we've been nominated for that was a blessing. And I'll be having to be reminded of that, because the winners in the work ultimately with me. Like, I want to keep building, and I appreciate everything that come with it, but I don't judge nobody by what they won. I judge them by their treatment.
Copy. Because what you won was just, you know what I'm saying, somebody else's opinion on the category. And just like you said in the work, I got something for you at the end of this episode that will tie right in beautifully with that. But we got to go to On the Scene magazine before we wrap things up. We're saying the sound episode 92. On the Scene magazine. Let's talk a little bit about the magazine.
Sure. So On the Scene magazine is a positive digital-based platform, urban digital lifestyle magazine. We have everything from entertainment to education, sports, fashion, finance, music, but everything is from a positive perspective. As anybody can see, you turn on the TV, you turn on your phone, you walk outside your door, you're inundated with negativity. However, when you walk outside your door, you also you can be inundated with positive things. And that's why we take it so personal to make sure that we deliver positive information. One of our latest editions we just published last week, Lena Horne. Shout out to Lena Horne. She was an amazing activist, let alone actress, and for civil rights.
Definitely a legend for those who don't know.
And people don't know. And so she's, I think, the first Black woman. She is the first Black woman to have a Broadway theater named in her name. And so that was just unveiled 2 weeks ago. So we display information like that. Shout out to Jimmy the Saint. We did a film review on his movie. We do so many things that it's just positive. Everything is from a positive perspective. I'm sorry.
Which movie?
Nobody's Son.
Yep. Shout out
Nobody's Son. Shout out to Son of the 215. Correct. Yes, we got Son of the 215 in there. But everything we do is from a positive perspective, because there's so many resources out there that we aspire to be. I aspire to be a walking resource, and that's what our magazine is. Our magazine is a digital resource. Anything that you need and want should be there for you. And if it's not, you reach out to us, and we're gonna make sure that we can help in any way. Because my passion and purpose is to be that resource.
If somebody's looking to get a feature with On the Scene magazine, how would they do that?
I told you this on the episode. You are a walking resource. No
You
more
did.
aspiring.
You did say that.
We're not aspiring no more. You that.
You right. You right.
Somebody looking to get on on the scene magazine to get a feature or something like that, how would they go about that? Or if they just want to read the magazine, how would they go about that?
So they can go to our website, it's www.onthescenemagazine.com. And our email is there. You can reach us through there. All of our contact information is through there. We're also on Instagram and Facebook as well. On the Scene Magazine, and that's the first step. You can DM us on Instagram. You can email us. Our phone number is there. You can call us. You can do anything you want, but we're absolutely open to new articles, new information to expose. It's all about exposure.
So necessary.
So when we do the piece entitled "This Is How You Hustle" on Hype, you know what I'm saying, they'll go to onthescenemagazine.com and make sure that you check out the article.
Correct.
Now, this is something new that I'm doing on the podcast. Before we wrap up the episode, I let the guests know if I really fucks with you. Appreciate you for coming on. And tell me this now. When you hear my name, when you hear the name Hype, what is it that you think? Saab, I'll start with you first. Everybody keeps saying that.
Go ahead, bro. You go first.
Custom Hustle World. You know
when you hear that name,
Custom
Hype,
Hustle World.
Yeah. Hype always makes me think of hyphy.
Okay. All right. No. Not somebody else did this. When you hear my name, you good?
No, my bad. Explain it to me.
Nah. When you hear my name and somebody say something about me, they say something about Hype, you think instantly what?
Oh, a great fucking human being. I just think of an awesome guy. I never think of like deeper than that. You would probably be a facilitator.
Okay. Somebody else
Because
said this about me.
yeah, because between your last situation and the current situation, I see how you move, I see how you reach out, I see how you resource. Yeah. I think you'll be a facilitator. I think that's a good word. But a great human being, first and foremost. That's most important.
Sorry, you have something else you want to throw in there?
Yeah, I wasn't done. That was the first thing. And I said, I didn't say hustle because for you, like ever since I ever met you, like you've always, and hustle is not, I say that you're a go-getter. I see that, so for me, I just see resource. Again, just something I see in myself. I see resourceful. I see, I think of somebody who uses what they got or might not even don't have, go get it and get what they want. So that's what I see from you. I see for you, like, it might be symbolic, but like literally and figuratively, I call you a force, right? Because you're not a small person in figure, but nor in mind, body, spirit, move, none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Very big picture thinker. Yeah.
Absolutely. But you act on it too, because a lot of people, myself included, like it's so many things. I ain't even gonna get into it, but I had something and I did 10 years ago. Somebody else did it and now they rich, right? I should have did it. It's about execution, right? And so I see you executing. It's not about big thinking, big moving, and you're doing it.
Conversations without execution is just us talking. It's one of the things I always tell people.
One thing that I could say that both of you guys have in common is that when y'all say that y'all are attempting or making a maneuver to do something, I believe that it's going to be done and that it should be done. It's always with the right intention. It always has the right things behind it. And that's not what that's rare.
Yeah, shit. I called Sam a year ago about something I'm trying to do next year. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We just talked about it.
Trust me, I talked to Sam before On the Scene Magazine was On the Scene Magazine. So, and we've been in publishing for 12 years now. So
that's not close. So that's 12 years, girl. That's not close. That's a 7th grader. You on your way to high school.
Right. But I was just saying it to say, like you said, you told him about something that you want to do next year. I talked about that for years before I did it, years before I did it. So
all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming on. Make sure y'all tune into the Sipping with Sammy podcast.
Yeah.
This is episode 92 of the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. We are out.